Hey, good afternoon. This is Clay with Clay's AC and Auto Repair and Clay Motion here in Grand Rapids, Michigan. If this video is helpful, please send me nice comments, like my videos, most of all, subscribe to my page and share my videos with your friends. So today we're going to work on a 2006 Jeep Grand Cherokee with a infamous 3.7. This video is probably going to be also very critical on the 4.7, which is essentially the 3.7 with 2 more cylinders added. So I'm not going to be held liable if you damage your vehicle, because more than likely your vehicle is already damaged if you're having the symptoms that I'm having. Okay, so here's what we got going on with this Jeep. We've got an oil light on. That oil light sometimes goes off. We're gonna drain the oil out. We've got it up to full operating temperature, as you can see right there. So we warmed the vehicle up. I know most of the time when you're changing your oil, you want to change it cold so all the oil's in the bottom of the oil pan. For this scenario, we're not going to do that. We're going to flush this motor out. Hopefully we can get rid of the oil light. If we can't, we're going to take it apart and do it the right way, which will lead to more videos of me removing the oil pan and removing the front differential, etc., etc. So here we go. We've got it up to temperature. We're going to pull it up on the lift. We're going to drain the oil out of it. We're not taking the filter off of it because it's really probably not a filter problem. We're not too much worried about that at this moment. And we're going to put some Marble Mystery Oil in it, and I'll show you that here in a moment. Sorry the light is so super horrendous in here. We don't actually have any engine noise or anything, but these vehicles are known very much for timing chain problems. And this oil thing is probably because of that. So what we're also going to do is we're going to start it up just so you can hear it. You may have some clattering in yours or something like that, but this engine actually runs very smooth. Everything works in it. It's a really quiet engine and it runs excellent, and it's a real shame that the oil light is on. But we're going to do this and hopefully solve this problem. And because when they have the oil light on, they're generally a ticking time bomb. I charge about $1,400 to do the head gaskets and timing chains on mine in the shop. So, you know, that's parts and labor. That's a pretty good deal. But most shops are going to charge right around $2,500 for this service if your timing chain goes bad. I highly recommend you just replace the timing chain and do the head gaskets, because if you buy one of these used, you're dealing with the same thing you had before, and it's just going to have the same problem in 10 or 20,000 miles. So you might as well just spend the $2,000 it costs to have it actually fixed right. That's my opinion. But anyways, so we're going to drain the oil out now, and we'll put this marble in there, and then I'll tell you the steps of letting that thing run. We've got it all warmed up to operating temperature. That's very critical. I know I didn't need to show you this, but there'll be some people whining if I didn't. So I removed the drain plug. It was a 13 millimeter. Now I'm gonna reinstall it after I let the oil drain out. I did not remove the oil filter yet. Okay, so we reinstalled our drain plug. Now we're gonna introduce 4 quarts of Marble Mystery Oil. Now I want to make special note, and I'll probably say it again. We're gonna run the motor for about 5 minutes. We're not gonna run it past 2,500 RPMs, if we even run up the RPM at all. We're gonna see what happens. Like I said earlier, I'm not going to be liable. Your motor's probably already broken, and you can't break what's already broken. So we're just doing this as a possible repair to it. It's possible that the pickup tube in the bottom of the oil pan is plugged up. It's possible that we got lots of sludge in the oil. I mean, when we buy these cars used, we're not for sure where they came from and who had them. So what we're going to do is we're going to try to remove this out. I can't stress enough, your motor's already probably messed up, but the way this particular engine ran is it ran pretty darn good, and I hate to mess it up, but we don't want to sell it with the oil light on. That is impractical. We will just do the work to repair it, but that work is very expensive, like I said earlier. So we're going to try this. It's basically going to cost you right around 50 bucks. I got these at Walmart. They're about $4 a quart. Most auto parts stores, they're about $7. So hopefully that's helpful. So we're going to put all 4 of these in, start up the motor, let it warm up to operating temperature, give it a little bit of gas. We're not going to over rev it. because we don't want to ruin the bearings, and that's what we'll do. What'd you say, Pat?
I asked why you're putting that in instead of regular oil.
This. Well, the reason we're putting this in here is because it's going to break down the sludge that's inside the motor. That can be a good thing and a bad thing. You got to understand that when that sludge, I should be saying, when that sludge falls out, it's going to plug up other things potentially that aren't plugged up now. You know, like lifters or primarily timing chain tensioners. That's probably why the oil light's on now. We don't really want that, but we have no choice but to try to fix it. And this is the most economical way of fixing it potentially that there is. And it like I said before, if it's already broken, there really isn't a whole lot we can do for it. It's kind of like doing a transmission flush on a transmission that's not shifting right. More than likely it ain't gonna work, but we'll try it anyways. And I wanted to make a video because, you know, if this turns out good, I can say, hey, at the end of the video, hey, we got it, it's all good now, we're good to go. This worked for me, may not work for you. Okay, so we got the Marble Mystery Oil in there. We're gonna keep it in there for about 5 minutes. Gradually, about every 30 seconds, we're gonna run it up to 2,500 RPM, and then we're gonna let it go down. The reason that we're doing it in a 30-second interval is because the lubricating properties of Marble Mystery Oil are not the same thing as your conventional oil. So we don't want to over rev the motor, we don't want to burn bearings up, we don't have a bearing problem now, but with the extra added oil velocity and pressure, we're hoping to knock some of this dingy, grungy stuff up that's plugging things up with this stuff and kind of clean it out. And then when we change the oil, I'll show you how we pulled that oil out, what it looked like when it came out. Hopefully some chunks come out of there. So we've got it running up to about 2,500 RPM. We're going to try not to exceed that. We don't want to overdo it with the oil that's in it. And the hope is that we'll do that for 5 seconds or so, and then we'll repeat this process during a 10-minute interval of running this oil. And then we're going to drain it out, refill it with conventional, replace the oil filter, and see what happens. So be careful that the drain plug's going to be hot. You could probably wear a glove, which is probably what I should be doing. But what I'll do is I'll push pressure up against the, let my fingers cool for a second. It's just about out, and I can let it drop right inside my pan. I don't really see any chunks streaming out, but we definitely got some hot Marble Mystery Oil coming out. So now we're going to take off the oil filter, and we're going to change the oil filter too. And once all this oil drains out of here, it's okay to leave a little bit of this in there. This Marble Mystery Oil isn't going to hurt the new oil at all. But we're just going to wait for that to come out, and hopefully, like at the end, maybe we'll get some little clumpy stuff, but it's not looking like it. It's probably just got a plugged up pickup tube, but we figure it doesn't hurt anything to try. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and take the oil filter off, and below the oil filter is this drain tube right there, and you can let the oil drain from up there at the oil filter and let it drain into your bucket or whatever you got on the ground. Don't over tighten your oil filter or your drain plug bolt. It's only got to be about 25 foot-pounds. It'll strip it. Okay, so now we're going to put on our new oil filter. You want to make sure you oil up your oil O-ring right there, and you can even put like a little bit in it. If they go straight up inside the vehicle, you can fill them up all the way, but this one's kind of kitty-wampus on like a 45-degree angle up inside there, so you can't fill it up all the way, but it helps with cold startup, so it has oil in there. Okay, so we just did our engine flush, and we're going to start it up and see if our oil light stays on. Ah, very good, I say. No oil light. Okay, so hopefully this video was helpful. This will show you how to do your motor flush. You could do this on any motor. You just got to be really careful and, you know, use the steps and procedures that I told you about. It's not an exact science, so you can do it pretty much any way you want. I'm not going to be held liable if you blow up your motor and your timing chains and all that, but hey, you can't break what's already broken. Don't be the next to them, be the first to you. And if I can do it, you can too. Please subscribe and share, and have a great day.